Houses, giants are really big and they're scary. It makes you want to run. No, God doesn't talk like that. If you read in Numbers 14, this is his reaction to the majority report. To those who feel overwhelmed by all the thing that's going on. Oh, you feel overwhelmed? This is what God says to us as well. He said, how long will you refuse to believe in me? Despite the miraculous signs that I have shown you, how long will you refuse to believe in me? This is the thing. It's like when you don't trust God, it's like slapping him in the face and calling him a liar. Oh yeah, you made the earth, but I don't think you can do this. Oh yeah, you rescued us from this elect. I don't think you can do this. I mean, we got a Senate that's right now in the balance, but could God not do that? I mean, this is what it comes to. You either believe this stuff or you don't. It's going to change the way you act. It's going to change the way you feel. And I'm telling you, we have more power and more authority. If Jesus said all power and all authority has been given to me, that means somebody has none of it. And if he lives in us, greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. This group here, as small as you may feel, I'm telling you, God could change the state with the people in this room. And so you just got to keep your eyes focused on him. Next slide. And that's more of the nursery. Next slide. I think that's it probably on the slides. Let's do this. So we did all this. Let's go to the Kasich video. Anybody seen this thing yet? I got to get you on my email list because we put together a video. And keep in mind, I know this. I spent a week praying about this because it hurt me to do this. I used to be his spokesperson, and I really believed in the guy. But I remember in election 2012 in December, we had everybody who you can imagine go to him. Cabinet members who were once my friends, still are. We had legislators. We had his most close and personal advisors go to him, ask him, please, pull the bill out of the Senate. Get this bill through. We had a letter from Dr. Wilkie that went into him in 6-7 different ways, asking for him to call for this bill and end abortion. And I know he got the letter many different ways, but he didn't act. And so we went to him and we gave him the 70 baby clothes. We called on him to say, look, make this as important as taking over the boards and commissions so that you can push government health care and expand it. You remember what happened? If he fought for life as hard as he fought to expand Medicaid, abortion would be done. It'd be over right now. And so when they say, who's to blame for abortion on demand? I hate to say it, but it's not the Democrats. So here's the cartoon that we released a couple of weeks ago. And if we get enough donations, I have a guy right now working on turning this into a television ad. Let's take a look.
If you hired someone to do a job and they didn't do it, would you hire them again? 4 years ago, we hired John Kasich to be our governor.
I'm pro-life.
Because a governor gets things done.
I said, send me that bill to sign, Senator.
And fights for what matters.
I will do whatever it takes to expand government health care.
What? No, we hired you to fight for what matters, beginning with protecting human life.
We regulate how and
Doesn't it look like
where
bad
we
children?
kill babies. Yes, now we only kill a stadium full
Favor.
of Ohio children each year. Isn't that great?
What?
Oh, come on, there's no hurry. We'll protect children later.
Every day of delay, we lose a school bus full of children the heartbeat bill would protect.
It's not a priority. What's another 4 years?
We need you to fight for the lives of our children right now, because the cost of delay is just too high. Call 614-466-3555 and ask Governor Kasich to save the lives of these babies. Tell him to call for a vote on the pro-life heartbeat bill before he asks us to hire him again.
Thank you for your help in that effort. I want to tell you that I talked to somebody today on the inside of the State House, and this is what he said to me. There's a lot of people saying, well, that's kind of mean. I'm not sure that we're going to make friends with people. We're going to need their votes. Look, we've been playing this game for 41 years. Let's be nice to them, and then maybe they'll give us a crumb again. No, at some point, they've got to do what we elected them to do. And so this legislator said to me, you've seen all the things we've done. That's only a sample platter. That's not everything we've done. That's a sampling of what we've done in the last 4 years. And what he said to me today was, this is the most effective thing you have done to pass the heartbeat bill in 4 years' time. And so I thank you for that. If there's anybody that wants to, it's about $500 to run this on television in the Columbus market so that John Kasich and Keith Faber and Bill Batchelder see it when they're there in town. I do believe this. I have no real reason. Well, I will tell you this. I was in Florida last week, And I was meeting with a board member, and I'm saying this not to brag, but I was sitting by the beach, all right? I was sitting by the beach, and I was reading the Bible, and it was in Esther. And it was essentially, the summation of the verse is, they planned this, but the opposite happened. So right now, I sat over there, I said, God, I pray for the opposite. They're claiming they will not pass this bill. They're all stonewalling us. I ask for the opposite. And about a few minutes later, I get a call from Lori Vyers. Many of you know her, an activist in Warren County. She said to me that there was one of our legislative friends, met with a reporter, and the reporter said there's now rumblings in the Senate, for the first time in the Senate, of them passing the heartbeat bill this year. And I'm telling you, God is the God of the impossible. And He doesn't need a lot from us. He is a God of multiplication. Fish and loaves? Yeah, you can feed a stadium full of people with fish and loaves. 5,000 men, plus women, plus children. That's a lot of people. He is the same God today. And I am not going to be overwhelmed by the giants in this land, even if these giants happen to occupy, because we gave them the keys of authority with the elections and the election fraud that we've allowed. And so, what I want to tell you is that when it seems like there is overwhelming darkness, and it seems a lot like that lately, that if you want to say what the battle is, in the battle between darkness and light wins. Every time. 1,000,000 parts of darkness and just one light, and you will have a victory. Jesus said He's the light of the world. He shines through us. We're not to hide it under a bushel. And that's really where we are. And so I believe we're going to see the heartbeat bill become law this year, because I'm trusting the God of the universe, and I'm stepping out. And yeah, they're ridiculing me. Yeah, I lost a lot of personal friends and a lot of people who say I'm being unreasonable. Look, I think a stadium full of children being killed every year is unreasonable. And I think explaining the truth is the pro-life and the compassionate thing to do when it comes to these kids. I'm not interested in another photo op with a governor or a legislator. I've got the T-shirt. I've been there. I do not want to be invited to another reception ever. I just want the killing to end, and I believe we're going to see it happen. So in the year 2012, we're still trying to pass the heartbeat bill, and I see that we're getting our clocks cleaned on marriage. And I started praying, God, what can we do? Give us something. We see what's happening. I wrote a book. Here's the book I wrote. There's very few in print, so I'm not selling it tonight. You get it on Amazon. It's The Criminalization of Christianity. And I predicted a whole bunch of things that are happening right now. And including what you may have just seen. Oh, by the way, I have this here. I'm going to share this with you. When it felt like we completely lost, I felt like a complete failure. In the year 2012, we didn't pass the heartbeat bill. They lied to us. They didn't get it through. The governor didn't step up. He didn't help us. And I remember spring of that next year, we had to start over from scratch with a second bill. And then they were lying to us and said, we'll put it in the budget. And then they gutted it in the Senate. All the things that happened. And I remember meeting with Lori after a legislative meeting, and I remember telling her, if I would have known what this would have cost, I don't think I could have done it. And I felt pretty low, and I right about that time, I got a phone call from a guy by the name of Jim Bob Duggar. Anybody ever heard of him? Sure. 19 Kids and Counting, right? Turns out his kid Josh, it's on a reality show. I don't have a TV, so I haven't seen it, but his kid heard about what we did in Ohio, and they told it to a senator, a heroic senator by the name of Jason Rapert. They introduced the bill, and he says, I want you to know there's a whole bunch of babies in the state of Arkansas that are going to be very grateful for your work, because we just passed the nation's first heartbeat law. And thanks God. And then I was lobbying in Kansas during the time. I was testifying and lobbying with some of the legislators or some of the lawyers that we brought in to testify. And they said, well, we don't want to pass this now. Only one state's done it. And, and as my phone went off, the second state, North Dakota, just passed the nation's second heartbeat law. The most pro-life law in the country. They've also been introduced in Kansas, in Texas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Wyoming, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Alabama, Michigan, and New York. That's what God can do with a failed effort. And I believe He's going to see this through a success. So, but a lot of people say, I just don't want to be involved in issues of the day, and I just don't think that's my role, and I just care about the gospel, and I don't want to offend anybody. I have someone in my family, they wouldn't put a political yard sign in their yard because they don't want to offend anybody. They might not like that. Well, what happened was we asked for God, what can we do to make a difference on marriage? And I got invited to a film academy. And I talked with Curtis Bowers. Anybody ever seen the movie Agenda, the documentary Agenda? You seen that?